After 5 long years, Kratos finally returns in a brand new God of War sequel in one of the biggest exclusives the PS4 has to offer in 2018. Let's talk about it. Created by Sony Santa Monica Studio and titled simply as God of War, this iteration aims to shake up and change many of the fundamentals of what we expect from a game in the series, and boy, are there a lot of them. This time around we get a far different Kratos than ever before, an older, bearded Kratos that is wiser, more empathetic, and slightly less rash, although you could be sure his signature rage is still very much intact. He also won't be alone on his journey either, as he'll be accompanied by his newly introduced son Atreus, who you'll need to watch over and raise to become a true hunter. In turn, Atreus will inadvertently help Kratos grow as a person as he attempts to embrace his newfound role as a father as they make their way through Norse mythology. This is a drastic change in setting from the usual Greek mythological settings that they are usually based within, offering totally new, different enemies to face, from trolls to dragons, and of course gods to conquer. Such changes aren't just reserved for the characters and setting, as they extend far into the gameplay mechanics, arguably even more so, being recreated from the ground up. Combat is now distinctly slower and more methodical, taking cues from series such as Dark Souls and somewhat The Last of Us, requiring precise dodging and parrying, and less mindless hacking and slashing. Gone are the iconic Blades of Chaos we know so well, instead wielding a magical battle axe called the Leviathan that can be infused with various powers through the use of runes. This new weapon will act similarly to Thor's hammer when thrown toward an enemy, being instantly recalled to Kratos' hand at will. We've also been shown a second item that will be at his disposal in the form of a retractable shield that can be used for both offense and defense. With Atreus playing such a vital role in the story and accompanying Kratos on his journey, he'll also play a pivotal role in combat. Much like Ellie in the aforementioned The Last of Us, Atreus won't need you to constantly babysit him, providing plenty of support with his bow and arrow to not only inflict damage, but stun and take aggro away from you, as well as make callouts that will assist you. In addition, should you wish to control Atreus directly, there is a button dedicated to issuing him commands. Outside of combat, he'll also have the added benefit of being able to translate runes that Kratos simply cannot read. The camera system is now over the shoulder and no longer fixed, giving you the ability to control it as you please for the first time. In an extremely ambitious and challenging move put forward by director Cory Barlog, the game will feature something that's called in the film industry as a one-shot, literally meaning there won't be a single camera cut during the entire duration of your playthrough, using only one from start to finish. Cory originally pitched this idea when he was working for Crystal Dynamics on the 2013 Tomb Raider reboot, however it was ultimately rejected. To top it all off, the game will apparently and incredibly not feature any loading screens at all, adding to the seamless nature Santa Monica Studio are clearly aiming for, which when coupled with no camera cuts should lend itself to one of the most immersive gaming experiences of recent times. God of War, like many of today's games, features light RPG elements, offering up a skill tree to give you decisions in how you develop your abilities and skills as you acquire XP, but most interestingly, we have a brand new crafting system. By visiting one of the dwarven blacksmiths known as Brock and Sindri, they will, providing you have both the currency and resources, craft you entirely new armor and weapons, or even upgrade your existing ones. There looks to be a ton of different options with varying stat distributions to play around with. Although not described as an open world title, nor should you expect one, God of War is far more open and less linear than it's ever been before, with plenty of optional objectives to encounter, from boss battles to hidden locations. This will encourage you to explore rather than simply going straight from point A to point B. That brings me onto the form of traversal you'll be using during your playthrough, and that is surprisingly a small rowing boat. Kratos will have the ability to swim like in the past, and therefore both him and Atreus will use one regularly to reach different locations. Originally it was envisioned that the boat was significantly larger, however they wanted it to serve as a point of narrative and interaction between the two characters, so the close proximity that a rowing boat brings made that much more possible. God of War releases in only a few weeks' time on the 20th of April, and just like previous iterations, releases exclusively for a PlayStation platform on the PS4. With it being such a high-profile game for the console, there will be, as you'd expect, PS4 Pro and HDR support, giving you the choice between resolution and performance mode. In resolution mode, it will use a common checkerboarding method as with Horizon Zero Dawn to hit an upscaled 4K that looks not too far off from a native 4K image. Considering every God of War title has been a graphical showcase for each of the PlayStation consoles, it looks to be no different here, producing some really drool-dropping visuals that are up there with the best. When it comes to longevity, unlike past games that offered up around 10 hours of gameplay, God of War is said to be considerably longer, taking up to 25 to 30 hours to beat the story, and likely even more if you do all the optional stuff, which is a fantastic amount of time. Not many established series are daring enough to break so many of the fundamentals that make it what it is. However, it may just be what the series needs right now, after fatigue was no doubt beginning to set in with the release of Ascension in 2013. Opinions from the media who have spent time with the game have been resoundingly positive, and with already further sequels in the Norse mythological setting planned, it seems the devs are confident as well. Thankfully, it won't be too long before we can finally get our hands on it ourselves and find out how it stacks up. That's it for today. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content just like this. Click the thumbnail on the left for the history of the God of War series, or the one on the right for another of my videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.